Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his
number of the 26-page complaint is 1:24-CV-07-201. In her lawsuit, Thalia, through her attorneys, sues Sean Diddy Combs, also known as the defendant, and another individual and other entities. The complaint alleges in part in the first cause of action that defendant Combs and another defendant committed a, quote, violation of New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act by viciously and violently forcing sexual contact, oral sex, and sexual intercourse on the plaintiff, end quote. In addition, the complaint alleges in the second cause of action that defendant Combs and another defendant committed a violation of New York civil rights law, quote, section 52-B, end quote, by, quote, raping plaintiff and recording it. Defendants caused plaintiff to be depicted in a video image, unclothed and with intimate body parts exposed, and engaged in sexual conduct with another person, end quote. The lawsuit also alleges that, quote, defendant Combs and another defendant published and or disseminated the videos without plaintiff's knowledge or consent. On information and belief, defendants have continued to disseminate the video, including by selling it as pornography through the present, end quote. In our complaint, we ask that, quote, defendants should be ordered to account for and destroy all copies of the video that are in their actual or constructive possession, custody, or control, end quote. And that, quote, defendants should be temporarily and permanently enjoined from further disseminating or publishing any intimate videos of plaintiff, end quote. We also allege in the third cause of action that Combs and another defendant committed a violation of New York City Administrative Code, section 10-180, quote, recording and showing others the video of themselves violently raping the plaintiff, and the defendants disclosed an intimate image of plaintiff without her consent, end quote. As a result of these and other allegations in our complaint, we request that judgment be entered against defendants as follows. Awarding compensatory damages for all physical injuries, emotional distress, psychological harm, anxiety, humiliation, physical and emotional pain and suffering, family and social disruption, and other harm in an amount to be determined at trial. Awarding punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Awarding attorneys' fees and costs pursuant to any applicable statute or law, including under New York City Administrative Code, section 10-1104, New York Civil Rights Law, Section 52-B2, New York City Administrative Code, Section 10-180, and any other applicable statute or law. We're also seeking additional relief that the court may deem just and proper. As a result of what is alleged in the lawsuit, Thalia alleges that she has suffered and continues to suffer, among other damages, emotional harm, including mental anguish, emotional distress, humiliation, and physical damage. In a few minutes, Thalia will speak to the impact and harm that she has suffered and continues to suffer. She will take this courageous step because she thinks that it is important that the public understand the impact that rape and other criminal acts have on those who have been victimized. Often victims do not speak publicly about the specific damages that criminal acts cause them. Some of the many reasons that victims do not speak out publicly about this include being ashamed or shamed for this. But we believe that victims should not be shamed, and instead those who committed the criminal acts against them should be ashamed and take responsibility for the harm that they have caused victims to suffer. We are very proud of Thalia for speaking out today in order to help victims of rape and other acts of sexual violence against them. In addition, we thank our co-counsel, Marianne Wang, Heather Gregoria, and Jasly Liriano for their exceptional legal work on this complaint. Our goal for Thalia is very simple. We want justice for her, and we are looking forward to winning it. It is long overdue for those who have caused her to suffer to be held accountable. To the mic. Okay, no more. There you go.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words. It goes beyond just physical harm caused by and during the assault. It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal. Some of the hardest parts of this pain are the shame and the guilt I have experienced that plays a negative part in my day-to-day ability to function properly. Being blamed, questioned, and threatened has often made me feel worthless, isolated, and sometimes responsible for what happened to me. My family issues made the pain even worse. I was already going through a divorce at the time of the assault and did not get the support that I needed. I was also faced with disbelief and judgment. This has put a strain on my selection of men and relationships. When many relationships became aggressive and abusive, which has made me feel even more alone in my struggles. I go through spells of being distant and withdrawn that it's sometimes so hard to leave my house. The trauma of the assault has taken a toll on my mental health. I've had PTSD, depression, and anxiety. I'm emotionally scarred. It has been hard for me to trust others, to form healthy relationships, or even feel safe in my own skin. Flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive thoughts make me feel like it's a constant struggle. I also suffer with physical problems such as chronic pain, sexual discomfort. The violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that's a temporary feeling of relief.
Dahlia is not going to be taking any questions, but I'll be happy to take some questions.
Corey, can you talk about the context of this assault? What, where, when, what occasion?
Question is, can I speak about the context of this alleged assault? No.
Gloria, can you just speak on, I know it's difficult for your client going through this, but what prompted her to come forward now?
It was time to file this lawsuit.
Gloria, what do you know about the video that was allegedly recorded during the alleged audition?
Question is, what do I know about the video that was recorded?
Yeah, what do you know, where is it now? Is it still, where is the video?
Yeah. There are many details in the complaint.
Or do
The
the
complaint alleges that it was taken without her knowledge and consent, that she wouldn't have consented, that it was then published and viewed by others. And may still be out there being viewed.
Or do the allegations in this complaint overlap in any way with the criminal charges against Mr. Combs?
The question is, does this complaint overlap with the criminal charges that have been filed? My understanding of the criminal charges are, the charges are sex trafficking, RICO, and transportation of a prostitute. We are not alleging any of those criminal charges in our complaint.
Has she been in touch with federal prosecutors at all?
Question is, have I been in touch?
Has you or your client been in touch with federal prosecutors about allegations?
About this? I have no comment.
Lori, what about a grand jury?
Pardon me?
Grand jury, federal prosecutors, or grand jury, has Ms. Graves spoke to either?
Is the question, has she testified before the grand jury? Is that the question? Let's put this way. I never comment on whether any of my clients have testified before the grand jury or will testify before the grand jury, since the grand jury is a secret proceeding.
Gloria, this other defendant in the video, alleged defendant, is this a celebrity?
It is the other defendant alleged to be in the video, and what was the remainder of your question?
Is that person, that alleged defendant, is that person a celebrity?
Is the person that has not been named by me a celebrity? Not as far as I know.
Gloria, as disturbing as the video may be, have you yourself laid eyes on the video?
Have I looked at the video? No. I have not viewed the video, nor do I wish to view the video, nor should anyone else view the video, with the exception of if law enforcement and a court believe that they should and are permitted to view a pornographic video as evidence in the case. If they have it, then that would be it.
Lori, just to be clear,
We don't ever view pornographic videos, even if they might end up being evidence in the case. And we do not transmit any such video, if we have it, to any other person, because we do not think it is permitted under the law.
Gloria, Elizabeth Wagmeister from CNN.
Would you please speak up? It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back here and a bit short. In the complaint, you noted that your client learned about this video in November 2023. That is around the time of the first public lawsuit, at least, against Sean Combs from his ex-girlfriend Cassie. I'm curious how you and your client learned about the existence of this video.
You're saying that this incident is alleged to have occurred about the time of another lawsuit having the, I'm sorry, I can't understand your question.
Per the complaint, this alleged incident occurred in 2001, but your client learned about the existence of the video in 2023, more than 20 years after. I'm curious how she learned about the existence of that video.
Yeah, so the question is, she alleges that the incident took place in 2001, but you are saying that it is alleged in the complaint that was filed that she learned about it in 2022. And then the question is, how did she learn about it? We have no comment in response to that question.
Gloria, has Diddy reached out to your client?
Excuse me?
Has Diddy reached out to your client?
Question is, has Diddy reached out to her? We will not comment on that either.
Gloria, I know this is very difficult for your clients, but would you be able to share a little bit of her background? Where did she come from, or what did she do? Can you give us some details about your client, please?
No, I can't provide further details about where she came from or what she does.
Lori, to your knowledge, has any law enforcement agency reviewed this video for possible criminal charges?
So is the question, has any criminal law enforcement, is the question, has any law enforcement agency
View the video for possible criminal
viewed
charges.
the video? I'm not able to answer that question.
Your client says that she was threatened after this alleged attack. Can you elaborate on those threats?
Question is, can I elaborate on the allegation that she was threatened after the attacks? And no, because really I'm not able to comment on or expand upon any evidence or anything that might have evidentiary value at this time.
Or there's an allegation in the lawsuit that the video was made available for sale. Can you elaborate on that? And was Mr. Combs
There's an allegation that the video was made available to whom?
for sale? For purpose?
Oh, that was made available for sale.
That's new. There have been other accusers, other women who have said that they believe they were filmed and that the videos were shared, but I think this might be the first complaint allegation that the video was made available for sale somehow.
I have not compared what we have alleged in the lawsuit to what others have previously alleged in their lawsuits. So I can't tell you whether this is the first that has alleged that this video was made available for sale or not.
Would Mr. Combs be involved in that alleged sale?
There are no other details that we can provide
So you
in
filed,
reference to the videos.
it today.
Yes, the lawsuit was filed this morning. And we have a case number, which I have provided, and we will pass around, provide my statement, which includes the case number. And this is part of the first page of the complaint. So do you want to stand up and hold this? Stand up. And there is a redaction on what we're showing you. So just to tell you,
And to right, please.
this is the first page in part and redacted.
Dahlia, to your left, please.
Pardon me?
Dahlia, on your right, if you both can look at that. Thank you. And right below her.
Oh,
And one more this way, please.
and I'll leave this on the table
Okay.
afterwards.
Gloria, there's a few networks here that are Spanish speaking, and I'm wondering if your client will be able to give a statement in Spanish, if you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I do not understand your question.
After you're done with the English section of the press conference, if your client speaks some Spanish, we should be able to give us a few words in Spanish.
No,
Would
she
she
can't.
please pronounce her name on camera, just so we have the correct?
You wanna answer?
Dahlia Graves.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Gloria, are you in contact with the person who told your client about the video described in the lawsuit?
We cannot disclose who we're in contact with in order to have investigated this claim or any investigation that may ensue after this press conference.
Gloria, just.
I want to add that if any other person has any evidence that might relate to our complaint, we, of course, would be happy to speak on a confidential basis with any person who may wish to contact us and provide us whatever evidence they wish to provide, and we would thank them for it.
Your client has said that she suffered years and years of trauma, depression, anxiety, because of this alleged attack. Did she come to you after the indictment last week? I'm asking because I'm wondering if those
Okay,
charges.
the question is, did she come to me after the indictment last week? No.
And as a follow-up, how is your client feeling after those 3 charges were brought against Holmes, even though he denies them?
How is she feeling after
After the charges?
after the criminal charges
Yes,
were filed
yes.
and that he has been arraigned? Okay. Do you want to comment? No, we're not having your comment, I'm sorry. I would say overall, it's been a very stressful and anxiety-producing experience, and she's lived with all of it for many years, and, you know, is reliving it now. I think she did comment on how she felt about the criminal charges at the end of her statement, and I'm not going to ask her to answer any other questions, with all due respect. It's fair questions, but she's just not going to be answering questions today.
Gloria, can you tell us how your client came to meet Diddy? How she got involved?
How can I tell you how my client
Met Diddy?
met Diddy? I am not going to expand on those details at this press conference.
Okay, guys. So I wanted to come and give you the press conference of the young lady who is the latest accuser of Diddy to file suit for SA. Her suit is very graphic. It is very detailed. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to actually sit and listen to it, because this broke early today. There were no court docs in the first video that broke it. I did see it on someone else's channel, and they were breaking the case. I do have the court docs. I was trying to find them, and we found them. No other accuser or victim has ever done a press conference on any of this. No one else. I don't know about this. I'm not making any opinion to or fro. Like, I'm not gonna form an opinion. Okay. I'm gonna let this play out as it's going to play out. The attorney that was sitting there at the table with this lady is Gloria Allred. She's 83 years old. Okay. She takes on high profile cases. All right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when Tierra Marie was talking about doing the revenge porn case, this is the lawyer who took that on. Someone asked me if this is the same lawyer from the R. Kelly. Yes, it is. I'm not sure. Let me look up something real quick. Because I'm not sure. Okay, so for the survivors of SA, the statute of limitation in New York is generally 3 years. This applies to cases that occurred before 2019. However, the Adult Survivors Act provides an extension statute of limitation of 20 years if the abuse occurred after 2019. So She's alleging that this happened to her in 2001. So that means that she falls within the statute of being able to file. I do understand that there are a lot of people who were scared to come forward, who did not want to testify for fear of retaliation or whatever they were scared of. Because from what I'm understanding, Diddy moved with a lot of people that did a lot of things for him, that he himself was not necessarily the gangster, that he was deemed the gangster based off of the people he had around him, his enforcers who were doing things for him. They provided the reputation for him. It's a lot of moving parts, okay? A lot of moving parts to this. And there's going to be more people that come forward, but just like any other case, there's going to be some cases that we're going to instantaneously gravitate to. And then there'll be some cases that we may end up side-eyeing. Because that's just how we are as people, right? But this case right here, I don't know. And I'm being honest with my, I don't know. It's okay. Let's see how that works. Okay, that's a lot better. So for me, it's the fact that she has held a press conference. All right. That's something that's a new element. Jason, come here, please. That's a new element that has been introduced that nobody has done before. Nobody has done a press conference. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Throw some Henny glasses in the chat if y'all can hear me. Can you throw this in my book bag? Yeah. Okay, you guys can hear me. Because I had to switch devices, so I wasn't sure if y'all were going to be able to hear me or not. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces to this. Here, I think my Uber is going to end up probably trying to pull off on me. Yeah, it's here, and I'm not there. I'm probably going to be late for work. I wonder how far back her medical information documented for this case. Now, somebody asked something about having medical records here. Having medical records, but not filing a police report. A lot of times people don't file police report. I mean, they don't, they'll go to the hospital. They don't want the police involved. They don't want to cooperate with the police. Sometimes the state will pick up. Oftentimes it does not, especially when it deals with matters of essay. Victims do have the right to leave the hospital before they get there and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I'm good. And the whole 9 yards. So I don't know. This is just like I said, this is the first of I'm quite sure many to come. I don't think I have everything with me, but whatever I don't have, whatever. Love you. See you later. Does anyone know why the victim is speaking now if it happened like 22 years ago. So the lawyer gave the information of it was time to come forward. And my guess would be if what she's alleging is accurate, just like with any other case, if what they're all alleging is accurate, then it would be true to also say that a lot of these people are not coming, they're now coming forward because one, they were unaware of the statute. Two, they feel the threat is gone because he's locked up. There's always the possibility of a story being fabricated. I'm more to err on the side of she was scared. And a lot of women, let's talk about this for a second. A lot of women who have been through SA, they don't want to come forward because they're scared. Them because of public scrutiny. When it comes down to these cases, I don't like to say that accusers are lying. I don't like to come to those types of assumptions unless something just really doesn't sit right with me. For me personally, I said I'm going to reserve my comments until the end because I am asking certain questions, but then I also know how that feels. One thing that has been a consistent, throughout all of these cases is the fact that everyone has had a level of fear, that there has been intimidation tactics that have been used against them, that there have been blackballings, all types of things. Like, come on, Cassie tried to leave him and go with Kid Cudi, and they Molotov cocktailed his car. Diddy and his goons are one and the same. They want them tapes Diddy has on them. They don't care about the victims at all. Distraction. You feel like it's a distraction. Interesting. The Blooms don't take a case unless, what did you say? Let me put that up there. I'm reading comments, but forgetting to put it up there. One, big money, and two, they see they can win. True. He's caged, but still dangerous. Exactly. Because he's in a cage, but the people or the goons, as it's been put, that work with him are not in cages. They're still out. He's still able to make phone calls. He's still able to talk to his lawyer. Come on now. People send messages through their lawyers because lawyer conversations and phone calls are not recorded and they're not monitored. I'm on nobody's side. That's a good way to be. That means that you're non-biased to the whole story and you're waiting to hold your, you're reserved, undisputed. Sometimes people don't just come right out, gang. Look what happened with Bill Cosby. Now, I don't know, because I'm not going to say that I feel like Bill Cosby was not around at them parties where them Quaaludes and all of that was going on. No, Cassie wasn't in the car. Nobody was in the car. But Kid Cudi was somebody that she was going to that was helping her to get away from Diddy. And his car got blown up. So I'm not understanding what you're saying, Michelle. That's somebody that was associated with Cassie and trying to help her. He's being watched. Anything happens to these people who are coming out, it's going to be obvious. It's true. It will be obvious. So with that statement being said, then think about this. Wouldn't it be safer to step out into the public eye where everybody can watch you versus being behind the scenes? where if something happens, they'll never see it. They'll never know. They won't be able to connect the dots. She done stepped forward. Okay, she came forward today, did a press conference, so now the whole world got eyes on her. Something happened to her right now, we all gonna be looking at him. I just hope the FBI gets all of the celebrities that were involved with this. That's a fact. And at this point, I'm gonna give y'all some compilation videos because I don't think y'all understand how deep this really goes. I'm talking Keke Palmer, DJ Khaled, of course. French Montana, of course. Anthony Anderson. I'm talking, there's a who's list of people that have been at those parties. I hope Kim Kardashian gets it too, man. Listen. Why is who not scared? Right, it's a scare tactic, but somebody Molotov cocktail and blow up your car, that's not going to scare you. That's not going to make anybody think twice. And now they all feel safe because he's in jail. I still will be kind of scared. I think they feel safe. There's witnesses, and the FBI said it. There's witnesses that will not step forward and testify because they're still scared. They're questioning whether or not the FBI can really protect them. Everybody is different. If I was famous and I got invited to a P. Diddy party and seeing what was going on, I'm going to speak up, but in a low-key way, right? And there's been people that have spoken up, but as the public, as the general public, we hold a responsibility of allowing it to go on and not questioning it. Yeah, blue car cuz it was crazy, right? We wasn't hiding from you. Sleazy gonna be knocking on her door. I doubt it. Sleazy looked like he's scared too. if you want me to be honest, he done went back to Atlanta, changed his phone number, and announced that he changed his phone number. So can't nobody get in touch with him. Diddy is going to start ratting on everybody. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if he hasn't started telling now, there's a possibility that man may not tell at all. What I'm trying to say is all of a sudden, everyone's coming forward now because P. Diddy is busted and they know I will go after everyone P. Diddy paid off, everyone now, everyone's speaking up. That's a fact. I'm in agreement with you. Crisis actor, fuck out of here. No, how about you? Fuck out of here. Thank you. Come again. Oops, that's right. You can't. New law has removed statute of limitation for victims. Right. It didn't really remove it, but it gives them 20 years. 20 years if it happened after 2019. So that means anything that happened in 2020, 2021, 2022, you got 20 years. My thing with that is, (2021) would have made 20 years. So this case should have expired. But that's also New York state law. She filed this case in the Southern District of New York. Now, there was somebody that came down in my comment section because I said the Eastern District and called themselves trying to eat me up. Everybody makes a damn mistake, okay? It's the Southern District of New York. That's where this case was filed. This case is on Pacer. Might go back to Mary J., Faith Evans, Little Kim, etc. I believe it does. Ski. That don't mean Krishan was into any of what's going on. Why is Krishan's name being brought up in this conversation? Please keep her out of this conversation in this chat. She had nothing to do with Diddy. Mary J. was the young Miami for Diddy back in the day. She enjoying that lady at Michelle. She described what she saw. Diddy put a lot of fear in his victims, and he needs to have it done to him. But there is people above him that is making him be silent. That's a fact. I believe that. Kelly case should have ran together. I'm sure they were together at some point. And Aaron Hall too. Well, remember, he's got a case with Aaron Hall. There is a case with him and Aaron Hall on it. We covered that case. Why are we bringing up Krishan in the chat? She has nothing to do with this. I don't even know what's going on, because normally, you're not like this. I don't know what's going on. Is this triggering you or something? I don't know, because you're not normally like this in the chat, unless I just don't be seeing it. Yeah, I got some info for you about WAC. Oh, yeah? Please get removed from the chat. Come across some info about Aaron Carter and Diddy. Now, Aaron Carter is an interesting one. Didn't they ask for people to come and speak on it if they've been there and been in a situation? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The feds absolutely asked them to step forward. Right. Thank you, any girl. That need not start with that ish. Throwing Krishan name in this mess. Leave her out of this period, child. Exactly. She spoke on one situation, and all of a sudden everybody want to come up with all of these scenarios. Let me explain something. If you coming over here with twisted and turned up narratives from people who are known to be liars, or people who are fabricating stories for clicks, likes, views, find your way out the bar, because I don't deal with that type of stuff over here. She has nothing to do with this case. She said nothing happened to her. Something happened to Lumel, and that's the end of the story. Please don't bring her up in this conversation anymore. She has nothing to do with this. That girl is out the way and minding her business. She's not even bothering nobody, yet she still manages to come up in the conversation. Yet we are the ones that are obsessed, the ones who support her, right? We're the obsessed and delulu ones. Anyway, child, let's get back to the matter at hand. The FBI certainly did ask them to come forward. Thank you for reminding me of that, because that is another reason why this girl could possibly be coming forward at this point in time, because there was a call to action made by the FBI. They're asking for witnesses, victims, anybody to come forward. And I don't think that they really give a damn about the time frame. Not yet. I'm too busy right now. Oh, don't put any CR in the chat or I'm removing. All right. I'm going to call y'all back. Has spoken. Okay, she's a supporter, and Henny just said, don't mention her. Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit up here and be annoyed either. So if I start getting annoyed and I start removing people, I'm banning. Ain't no coming back. Hidden from the channel, whatever it's called. That's what's going to happen. Okay. It was an accident. I don't know what y'all doing. Check out what CS137 is, because that's what WAC is. CS137. Okay, listen, if you have something that you want to share with me, don't share it in the live. Hit me up behind the scenes, please. There be lurkers everywhere. But anyway, to clear something up, I'm not saying everybody that went to a Diddy party was involved in anything. When I'm saying people that went to the Diddy party, there's people that went to the regular parties, and then after 2 o'clock, if you still at that party after 2, well, that's when it gets a little freaky. What happened? Because my finger is itching. You late. You late. Now I'm going to call y'all back. Then had all the fun. Bet you're going to have a whole bunch of them. Listen, if whatever Diddy did, if he did it, he going down. Okay? Okay, I got you. Where can I hit you up at so I can send you this info? On IG or in my channel description, I have an email. You can send it to my email. What was this? This one. This one. That's right. I'm trying to get to the start. Oh, Kristen, I didn't even see your comment. Kristen has said, I just hope these victims finally get some justice. Rich people take advantage of their status and need to be held accountable. I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Hey, Bobby. All right, y'all. Well, I wanted to come and give y'all that news conference. Henny Glass is in the chat if y'all want me to read her actual court docs, because I'll read the court docs for y'all. I won't be on the camera when I do it, but I'll read the court docs for y'all. It's sad all the way around. It is. Okay, so I will read her court docs later on. As y'all could tell, I'm on my way to work and almost there. So, give me a minute and I will talk to y'all soon. All right? Peace, y'all.